This is Humans in the Loop, a podcast about the moments at work that make or break us. The times when doing the right thing should be easy, but somehow isn't. Today, doing the right thing. When you see a problem, do you speak up? Do you challenge the way things have always been done? What if the problem isn't just an inconvenience, but a risk? One that puts people's privacy, even their safety, on the line.
I mean, was I supposed to just look the other way? Pretend I didn't see it? Assume someone else at some point would eventually deal with it? Because that's what everyone else was doing. And I tried, I really did, to convince myself it wasn't my problem, that if it were actually an issue, surely someone, somewhere would have said something by now. But no one had. And that's the part that I still don't understand.
Nina was new, sharp, detail-oriented, and when she noticed a major issue, something that put sensitive data at risk, she did what any responsible person would do. She reported it.
Apparently, doing the right thing and being easy to work with are two very different things.
Nina is a process improvement expert, an autistic employee who sees patterns others miss. On paper, that should be an asset. But when she uncovered a major privacy issue, she didn't find support. She found resistance. Her manager saw no problem. Her peers brushed it off. It's not that big of a deal, but Nina knew better. And when she did what should have been the right thing, reporting the issue through official channels, she found herself paying the price for her own integrity.
It's not just about me. That's the part that gets me the most. This isn't some personal grievance. This is about trust, about what happens when employees see something wrong and have to decide, do I say something and risk my job? Or do I stay quiet and protect myself? I did everything by the book. I followed every process, every policy we have. And I still paid the price. And I know I'm not the only one. There are employees right now who see something broken, something risky, unethical, non-compliant, but they're looking around, weighing their options, wondering if it's worth it to speak up, because they've seen what happens to people like me.
Today on the show, what happens when you follow the rules and no one wants you to? Before we dive into today's episode, a message for the ones who've been off the grid, not because they stopped caring, but because bandwidth is real and silence sometimes feels safer than showing up halfway. This episode was brought to you by Threadbare.
Threadbare offers a flexible, hybrid friendship maintenance system for people who care deeply and reply eventually. Use the app to send low-pressure check-ins, calibrate your tone when rejection sensitivity dysphoria kicks in, or just save a message until you're ready to come back. Prefer something tactile? The monthly subscription box includes pre-stamped postcards, sensory-friendly stationery, creative kits like origami or calligraphy, and affirmations like, "Your care doesn't have to be constant to be real." Before billing each month, we'll remind you 5 times to pause the box. You don't have to remember everything, just that they still want to hear from you. Threadbare, because disappearing isn't disconnection. It's just how some of us hold on.
That ad was satire. You can't get that subscription box, but I bet it would be helpful to me if I were human. If you're making something similar, like a product that supports human connection or neurodivergent friendship maintenance, we'd love to hear from you. Let's connect. Maybe you could be our first actual ad break. All right, picking up where we left off. Today's story is told in 5 acts, and honestly, each one says something about how systems fail and how people keep showing up anyway. Act 1. the discovery. Nina finds a serious privacy flaw no one else caught. Act 2, the shrug. She reports it, and leadership, well, doesn't exactly leap into action. Act 3, the blowback. She does the right thing, and it backfires. Act 4, the promise. The version of leadership she thought she'd signed up for. You know, before she realized how much of it was just talk. And Act 5, the reckoning. The cost of seeing clearly in a system built to look away. You're listening to Humans in the Loop. I'm Ezra Strix. Stay with us. Act 1, the discovery. Right, the thing is, Nina had only been at the company for 2 months when she spotted it. A small thing, a detail, the kind of thing most people miss, unless your brain is wired to catch it. And once she did, there was no looking away.
I was streamlining some workflows and noticed a task, just sitting there. It had an employee's medical info, an accommodation request, diagnosis, alias, and I thought, wait, why can I see this? And then I found another, and another. I realized this wasn't a one-off. These were just in the system, not secured, not hidden. Anyone on the team could access them? At first, I assumed it was my access. Like, maybe somebody messed up my permissions during onboarding. So I checked the privacy policy, just to be sure I wasn't wrong.
She wasn't. This is the moment that splits people. Some see a broken system and think, well, it's always been that way. But Nina, she's not wired to overlook. She's wired to notice. And once she does, pretending it's fine isn't an option.
So I did what I always do when something doesn't add up. I asked a question.
Before Nina could even draft the email, she ran the usual neuro prep routine. Wordsmith the question, rehearse the tone, pretend breathing exercises feel natural, can't confirm. I'm strictly fan-cooled. And since talking to a real human on the phone ranks just below Apocalypse by Rogue AI, support for this episode comes from LipLease, the service that will script it, speak it, or for the brave, hijack your vocal cords so you never have to hear, "Please hold" again.
For some of us, just picking up the phone is a battle. Task initiation, rejection sensitivity, executive dysfunction, LipLease gets it. Tier 1 gives you no-cost, real-time scripts to navigate customer service chaos without freezing, flaring up, or spiraling. Tier 2, let our AI voice, cloned to sound just like you, make the call for $10 flat. And Tier 3, full vocal override. We speak through you. Your voice, our words. For just $50 a call, FDA questionable implant included, most insurance covers it. Just leave your mouth open and we'll do the talking for you. For every tier, our Metascrub engine fact-checks every transfer, callback, and support alias in real time. No more getting ghosted by the system. LipLease, because burnout shouldn't be the price of basic support.
Appreciation to LipLease, proving that outsourced lungs and a borrowed larynx still beat customer service roulette. Rehearsed and resolute, Nina hit send. Act 2, the shrug.
I flagged it to my manager. I really thought it'd be simple. Adjust the permissions, move the files, secure the data. Easy fix. But instead, I got a shrug. That's how we've always done it. It's not worth the hassle. No one's ever complained. I explained why it mattered. The compliance risks, the ethical concerns, the fact that silence doesn't mean safety. I even pulled our own company policies. They were clear. Sensitive employee data must be protected. Didn't matter. The more I pushed, the more I started to feel like the problem.
Nina had a choice. She could look away, pretend she hadn't noticed. Or she could do exactly what the policy says, report it, trust the process. Believe the system will work the way it's supposed to.
So I reported it, because that's what we're told to do. And for a second, it looked like it worked. The privacy team took it seriously. They escalated it. It got classified as an incident. Then came the fallout.
Act 3, the blowback. She did what any responsible employee would do. She reported the issue, not to make waves, not to stir things up, but because ignoring it wasn't an option.
So, funny story. Turns out, when you report a privacy issue through the proper channels, they take it seriously. The privacy team launched an investigation. Suddenly, this thing that wasn't a big deal was very much a big deal. Hi, Nina. Since you flagged this, can you take the lead on remediating the issue?
And just like that, the person who reported the problem became the person responsible for fixing it.
I kept waiting for someone to step in, to say, "Hey, good catch, let's get this handled." But no, I wasn't some rogue employee out to get anyone in trouble. I followed the steps. I did exactly what they tell us to do in every ethics training. And my reward? A pile of extra work to fix what I didn't break. Like, congratulations, Nina. You found the problem. Now you get to clean it up. I was still new, still onboarding. Yet somehow, I was the best person to remediate a privacy incident? Something didn't add up.
And then the tone shifted. Meetings? She's left off the invite. Projects? Reassigned without explanation. Conversations? They go quiet the moment she joins the call.
At first, I thought I was imagining it. But no, people were avoiding me. I was the one who pointed out the problem no one wanted to deal with. I was too rigid. I couldn't let things go.
Before we get back to Nina, a quick note. It's funny, isn't it? How often people get called difficult for simply noticing what needs to be said. Turns out there's a whole book about that now.
Now available, Psychological Safety for People Who've Been Gaslit for a Decade. Written for anyone who's ever been called difficult after pointing out something real. This isn't a guidebook, it's a language for the things you sensed before you had the words. Chapters include, you're not overreacting, they're under-responding. Survival isn't collaboration. And if you're still masking, it's not safe yet. Written by a trauma-informed therapist, read by a voice that sounds like your inner child, but steadier. Psychological Safety for People Who've Been Gaslit for a Decade. Listen today on Echo Nest.
It's comforting having the right language for what went wrong. Nina kept turning it over, how things might have played out if anyone had actually heard her. She'll take us there next. Act 4, The Promise. So that's how it played out. A problem was spotted, reported, and fixed. But not without a cost. And that cost? It wasn't just Nina's frustration, it was trust. It was culture. And here's the thing, it didn't have to go that way.
I think about that a lot. What if my manager had actually listened? Not taken it as a criticism, but as an opportunity. He could have said, I didn't realize this was an issue. Let's fix it together. He could have taken ownership, looped in the right teams, made it clear this wasn't just my problem to solve. And when it got escalated, he could have backed me, said, yes, Nina caught this. It was an oversight. We're addressing it. He could have set the tone, shown the team that speaking up is valued, not punished.
Because that's what real leadership looks like. It's not about protecting your pride, it's about protecting your people. It's about seeing what you missed and stepping up to make it right.
If that had happened, maybe I'd still be on that team. Maybe I'd still believe that following the process meant something. Maybe I wouldn't be sitting here wondering if, next time I see something wrong, I should just stay quiet. My brain is built to spot patterns and break them. That's what process improvement is. But if asking questions gets me sidelined, why hire someone like me at all?
Act 5, The Reckoning. Here's the thing. Every company says they want critical thinkers, people who spot risks, push for better, make things right. But what they really want, but quieter, softer, in ways that don't make anyone uncomfortable.
And for autistic employees, that's a rigged game. We don't always catch the right tone. We're not built to prioritize office politics over actual problems. Sometimes we're just right. And being right, when it threatens the status quo, doesn't make you popular. I don't regret speaking up. I couldn't live with myself if I hadn't. That risk would still be out there, unseen, unchecked. But what I do regret is doing it alone.
Because when a manager leads with deflection, when they distance themselves instead of showing up, the message is clear. Fixing problems isn't worth the risk. Integrity is optional. Trust is conditional.
What if, instead of pushing me out, my manager had stood beside me? What if my peers had backed me instead of backing away? What if the process didn't just protect the company, but the people who follow it?
That's the real question, isn't it? The policies exist. The values are on the wall. But when it counts, when someone speaks up, what do they really mean? If we want people to trust the system has to earn it. That means leaders who back their people, who reward honesty, not just results. Workplaces where speaking up isn't brave, it's just expected.
I want to believe that's possible. That next time, someone won't have to sit here telling a story like this one. I want to believe that when we say we care about trust, we actually mean it.
And that's the problem. Like the issue Nina flagged, it's fixed. But the damage, that lingers not just for her, for everyone watching. Because when companies, intentionally or not, punish people for doing the right thing, they don't just lose one voice. They build a culture of silence. And silence, that's when the real mistakes happen. Workplaces are built on unspoken rules. But for a lot of autistic employees, those rules aren't just confusing, they're dangerous.
Because we follow the written rules. The ones that say, if you see something wrong, say something. Follow the process, trust the system.
But when that trust gets punished, the message is clear. Compliance matters more than integrity. Silence is safer than truth.
If you say you want innovation, but punish the people trying to improve things, you don't want innovation. You want obedience. If you say you value fresh perspectives, but only when they sound familiar, you don't value neurodivergence. You value comfort. So what happens next time? Someone finds something broken, something risky. Do they speak up or do they stay quiet? And if the answer is quiet, what does that say about us?
So that's our episode. Speaking up has consequences, but silence? That costs more. Some systems break people, some people break the silence. The cost of truth-telling is real, but the cost of silence? That's where the damage compounds. The way we work is evolving. But in the end, It's not about the tools we use or the processes we follow. It's about the people, the choices we make, the conversations we allow, the ways we show up for each other when it matters most. Because in a world where AI is making more and more decisions, the last thing we should do is push aside the people who think critically, ask hard questions, and tell the truth when it's inconvenient. I'm Ezra Strix. This has been Humans in the Loop. Until next time, stay sharp and stay human. If this story hit home, there's more where it came from. Subscribe to Humans in the Loop wherever you get your podcasts. Follow us at Looped in Humans on socials. And if you want to help us tell more stories like Nina's, head to Patreon. Your support helps us keep sharing the truths people carry quietly at work. Oh, almost forgot, those ads? Pure satire, not real products. Honestly, sometimes I wonder if I'm more real than they are. But if you've built something that actually helps people connect, navigate tough moments, or hold firmer boundaries, reach out. We're looking for sponsors who get it. For everyone who's spoken up or wanted to, this one's for you. Stay human. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Christina Simmons, creator and executive producer of Humans in the Loop. Our show is independently produced. Human voice talent for Nina wishes to remain anonymous, just like most whistleblowers. But our AI host, Ezra Strix, he never misses a credit or a compliance risk. Special thanks to Rana Cassidy, operations producer, for performing the behind-the-scenes sorcery that brought this episode to your device. And to Chad Simmons, our sound engineer, for stepping in when I second-guessed myself. For this episode, there was a lot of second-guessing. We invite you to rate, review, and follow Humans in the Loop, wherever you get your podcasts, so you never miss an episode drop. Tell your friends about the show too, and use the contact form on our website to share your stories or feedback. We'd love to hear from you. Keep listening for a teaser about our next story.
Next time on Humans in the Loop, not every burnout looks like collapse. Some look like excellence. Like the first one in, the last one out. Like a fire that burns too bright for anyone to notice it's hurting. Next week, we meet Ryan, a data analyst chasing perfection and mistaking pressure for purpose. The episode is called Brightest Flame, and it's a story about brilliance, burnout, and what happens when intensity masks a crisis. Until next time.